Hi everyone, I'm Fairy Glitter and today you're watching my second tutorial video ever about how to make earrings like this in foam clay. I'm really glad you're watching it. Enjoy! For the sculpting part of this project, you'll need ultra lightweight foam clay, pin highs, and some ropes. You begin by taking the pin highs and you make a zigzag out of them. That way, when we put the foam clay on it, it won't go loose. With the rope, you're gonna attach the pin high like this. Sculpting tip number 1. You have to take the pin high like a pivot and roll the foam clay over it. Sculpting tip number 2. To make smooth edge around the cavity of the shell, you have to gently roll your sculpting tool again and again, like this. Smooth edges are like really beautifuler than rectangle edges. You take a small amount of foam clay and you roll it in your hands to make a cone shape. Personally, I don't like it when the material is too smooth, so that's why I'm using the heat gun to get it a little bit harder. And then we use tip number 1. You have to press the foam clay where you don't want cracks and when you want it to be smooth. You can also use a tool to help with this task. And then we use tip number 2. Now you can see the shell drying. I'll let them dry for 2 weeks because it's thick, but I think 1 week is enough because the inside is not always dry when the outside is. When it's dry, I'll sand the excess of material to make it smoother. I use my Dremel to do that. You have to go gently to not to make cracks or anything like that. Then we'll put some tape on the rope because we're gonna prime those shells. Make sure you don't put a lot of tape in the upper part. We also want it to be primed. I prime everything that contains foam with Plastic, but I know you can also buy Flex Bond. I put it in hot water for 5 minutes. For the video, just let it float underwater to show it to you, but you better hold it underwater with your hand. And then shake it for 1 minute. Then you spray about 30 centimeters from it. You don't want to be too close. For Plastic Dip, Camry Cosplay have a really helpful video about how to use it. After priming them, you let them dry for a day. Paint the shell, I use acrylic paint. It took a big amount of time to cover them in yellow. I made about 8 coats, but they are light coats because I don't want any bubbles or shmush shmush. I don't know how to say that, but I think you'll understand. In my creative process, I wonder why there was no glitter yet on those shells. I usually put glitter everywhere. That's why my name is Fairy Glitter. I love glitter, so I decided to put some. To put them on, I use Mod Podge. It works wonderfully to put glitter on things. I just sprinkle glitter over it and then roll it in the excess of glitter. Now I'm talking about shading. Shading is really nice. It helps to make details stand out. I'm gonna show you how to make shading. You start with a darker color to fill the cavity. For the next step, I use a little lighter, darker color. After I've put some paint on my brush, I brush it over the paper next to me and remove almost all the paint on my brush. Then I gently brush the edges that I want to be darker. After doing the dark part, I'm doing the lighter part with the lighter yellow than my initial yellow. And I'm using about the same technique. I'm removing almost every paint on my brush. Then I gently brush the area where I want it to be lighter. After this process, my shell is not that yellow, so I've taken the yellow and then used the technique, but doing it over what I've did. So it's more yellow now. It's not always perfect on the first try. You might have to modify it a little. It will be pretty at the end. The final step is that I put triple thick crystal clear glaze on them. It makes them look shiny. And you can see the result. I think it's pretty. If you have any question about this tutorial, please feel free to DM me. I will help you the best I can. Thank you for watching this tutorial.